Okay, so this is a little story here out of Jason Bascom's Absolute universe titled One Stormy Night. You got some great black and white art here. This cover, I did get both of the covers. There were two different covers. This one happens to be the black and white cover from Shelby Robinson. I love the style on this. You just have this sharp contrast of the black and white against each other. And then I love how just the title evokes the feelings of Sin City. One thing to note, if you're not familiar with Jason's style, he has a very raw and frenetic kind of style. So, just very thick lines and everything's exaggerated. It's kind of like a really a visceral experience when you read one of his comics. I really liked the first two books in the Absolute series, book 1 and 2, introduced some really interesting characters. Again, the artwork is the black and white artwork that we see here. It's a real visual treat. It's something different than what is commonplace in the comic book world. I think most of us are familiar with this saying, actions speak louder than words. Well, this is a unique experience right here. Absolute One Stormy Night follows the priest character from the Absolute series. He is in the midst of trying to breach this castle wall. Now, what makes this story really different and special is that within this entire story, there is no dialogue or words. All it is are the images from panel to panel conveying what's going on. And I thought that was something unique, something special, because you don't really see that too often. I think it really lends itself to Jason's style because you're focusing on the dramatics within the art itself. When the story starts out, close up of the main character, it's raining. Your eyes are trying to adjust and figure out, okay, what's going on. Like I said, you get that contrast between the black and the white. Then boom, right away we see our priest character. He comes out of the shadows in the rain and he's just ready to mount an attack. And then you get a great kind of back and forth action scene where he's fighting off an opponent. You get some really interesting shots here. First he tackles the guy, gets him on his back, the close up with the sword to the guy's neck. And the samurai just kind of giving him that look like, I gotcha. Stylistically, just very interesting. Rain's coming down the whole time. You do get some words for the sound effects of the rain. As I was reading this, I really took my time kind of drinking in every panel. And after a while, I swear I could kind of hear the rain, in the back of my head. Here as he's taken that one guy out and he's moving on to the next obstacle. I love how you kind of have the reverse of the shadow. Instead of having the shadow black or gray, here you just kind of see the silhouette in the white there. And the rain bouncing off of them. That's what I was saying. I could kind of hear the rain in my mind. You can almost hear it splattering on the ground. During the whole encounter, you'll have flashes of lightning and cracks of thunder. I love the different facial expressions as he's fighting, making his way towards the castle. Look at that there. You see heads flying, stars, all in the rain. You have the back and forth again with the white and then the stark contrast with the black background here. Here's another one. Now his silhouette is the black shadow there. The only thing you have are the sound effects throughout the story. And I love the different perspectives. Like you have, his thumb there. The enemy's face as he's getting a katana through his chest. And then the slurg of the blood. And again, the whole time, the rain, you can just hear it in the back of your mind. This was a page I really liked because it kind of shows him the transition. The lightning is actually cracking here, and he did a really nice effect, kind of demonstrating the crackle kind of sound of the lightning. And then here, it's almost like a rhythmic beat of the thunder, the clapping of the thunder. So you can't really see him. He's illuminated by the flash of the lightning, crack of the thunder, and then he starts to fade back to black as the flash of the lightning is fading. This transition was a lot of fun. He's now making his way up the rocks, getting to the castle, going up the castle exterior. This is a great shot again. The contrast of the black and white, him being illuminated and his silhouette is white again. Here you get a really nice view of the castle, and you get an idea of the scale. He looks so tiny here. He's contemplating, how he's going to traverse the wall. You see the footwork there, and then he just makes this huge leap. This was one of the things in the, I think it was the first Absolute book. Jason had the most number of panels I'd ever seen in my life. It was such a, it was crazy, the number of panels. It was such a bold move. I really had to respect it. Here we get not quite as many panels, but a great kind of action sequence. Then you see that he's having a back and forth here with this female ninja, and clink, clink, their swords are kind of clashing there. And the whole time, in my mind, it's still playing the rain and how wet it is and just how tough this whole experience is that this samurai is having to go through. So they have their back and forth. This kind of reminds me of a movie in a way, like almost a Western or some of those older Japanese movies where they have the intense close-ups of each of the characters right before they have a duel. And so you have the close-up of the female and then our samurai guy, and then they're both giving their battle cries as they're getting ready to engage again. You've seen it in movies where the actual point of impact happens so quickly you can't really see what happened, and then they kind of stop and you're wondering, it's like, who got the death blow? It's a very cinematic feel. The poor chick, all that remains of her is just a gushing bottom half. I thought this was a really neat experience. At first, I was surprised. I'm like, wow, there's no dialogue in this book. It really plays out like a fight scene from a Japanese movie. Like, this was him making his way into the castle, having this showdown, this duel with a female warrior, and everything was just very visually interesting to look at. I really enjoyed it. And I hope we get more from Jason. I know I was kind of saying this before when I did the review of Absolute Book 1 and 2. This just whets my appetite for even more Absolute. I love this style. I liked the characters that were introduced. I think it's a lot of fun. Might not be for everybody, but this experience I really appreciated. And in this case, I think actions really did speak louder than words. So that's my 2 cents on Jason Bascom's Absolute One Stormy Night. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.